Hello, I'm back after about a week for update here. Have a few things to say, but sorry I didn't do anything this past week. I mean, no LPS encouraged me sort of to sleep in a bit instead, and looking forward to that again this week. So 2 weeks off, and then we're going to get new ones of that right after Deadpool. So that's going to be a fun night. Anyway, first thing I want to say is, I think it was Ethan's birthday recently, my friend. So happy birthday to him. If I'm off, then he can yell at me in the comments. And yeah, that's that. Second, bit of good news for me. Finally got some hotel situations worked out, so I am going to be going to BabsCon again this year, where I got the Sunset and Sonata wall scroll and the other print in the background there. Not right over there. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to everyone who works on the show or the comics. They're being there, so that's going to be fun, especially since they got Katie Cook and Andy Price, so definitely know some prints and possibly even buy some commissions from them. Just the quick black and white doodles, of course, but I really like them. They're cool. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I had some issues getting a hotel in order, but yeah, that's something I'm looking forward to in April, end of April, yay! And after that, I got my Lucas amiibo, which I'm really happy about. Don't have it in this room to show off, but happy about that, and also got Ryu pre-ordered, so yeah, I have all of the third-party characters that they've released to date. So here's to waiting for Cloud and Bayonetta to get all of the for sure. And it's weird that I can even count Shovel Knight on that list because I have him, and I wish he was in Smash though. Yeah. Speaking of that, and Bayonetta got that today too. So that's that. And one other thing I really want to mention today was I've done food reviews more commonly recently because we've been going out a bit. And I don't know how many other reviewers do this sort of thing, but I'm going to be doing a bit of a put up or shut up comparing one of my meals to, well, just not really comparing, but critiquing it a bit. Yeah, I know I haven't been filming those, but I've gotten into the groove of working on those so that everything is going constantly, and stopping to narrate or explain would really throw off the entire meal. And to be brutally honest, I don't trust anyone around me to film properly. So that's why I haven't been filming those, even though I've been doing some pretty good stuff not all on my own. I'm of course asking for help with like chopping and mixing and all that stuff, but I know I sort of wish I was better set up to have everything like film itself basically when I make a meal, but yeah. So this time I'm going to be critiquing my own meal I made. What I did was a braised pork loin with green beans and tomato sauce with a homemade pesto and a cucumber avocado salad. which is the only one that doesn't have garlic in that. So say that was a bit of a mistake. Also, since I made it, I've been trying to figure out what kind of wine I would have served with it, which is one, unusual because I used a lot of wine in the marinade and the braising liquid because that's what we cooked it in, and two, because it's sort of a tough one to figure out. I mean, best I can figure out just very basically is like a Chardonnay or Sauvignon Blanc, something white but heavier, fuller bodied. So maybe not even those if you if you don't know what to get on looking at the labels. But also leading some sort of rosé, but I'm not entirely certain on that either. So, but anyway, to the meal. Really start with the salad, the cucumber avocado one. Honestly, really simple to make. Just drain and salt a cucumber, and then mix it with a couple of large dice avocados. So, large dice, about good sized chunk. And mix that with a vinaigrette. We made homemade vinaigrette because it's really easy. Actually, was there garlic? Not that. Yeah, there was garlic in that. So there was pretty much garlic in every dish. Yay! Only real complaint I had with that, and everyone else who had it too would agree, is a bit too salty. But even after washing off the salt from preparing the cucumbers, there was salt in every other step of the meal, including and do a bit more salt for garnish. And it's like, so that definitely came off a bit too salty, but otherwise good. If you like the sound of what I said, because it's really simple, you just slice the cucumber, drain that for an hour, and dice a couple avocados, mix with vinaigrette, serve. And yeah, so if you like that, lay off the salt a bit, because otherwise, but definitely would make that again because it's really easy and really tasty, because avocados, they're great. Very, very good fruit. Pretty sure they're fruit. Next would be the green beans. Where to go on that one? Tomato sauce. We were doing a half recipe of the whole thing, and having the amount of tomatoes. No, basically I had to do half the amount of onions we use, and about an entire amount of tomatoes. And I don't know, I made that taste a little pretty bland in my opinion. I mean, I could have peppered it more. That would have been one thing I would have done, is put a bit more pepper in that, and maybe even because we had a lot of basil for the pesto to go with it. Then so I would have used a bit more of that too. So, but that's what the pesto is for, I guess. But a bit more of that. So tomato came off a little bland for my liking, and I think I left the beans in the ice bath after parboiling them too much. And then, of course, the pesto. I used a lot more basil than we probably needed, but it came out pretty good. Very basily, very garlicky. to be perfectly honest. But that's what most of the ingredients were in that. So yeah, it worked. But yeah, my tomato sauce was definitely bland, and the pesto was overpowering. So I guess mix them together. That works. Not really. No. And then on to um, the pork itself, which is, I like broiled, or not broiled, but braised. Marinate overnight, and then just usual braising. It tasted very winey, very much like wine. Not the alcoholic taste, but just like it tasted like the white wine that we marinated it in. Didn't really get enough of the flavors from the vegetable roux that we did with it, and all the spices in the marinade either. So that's a bit of a downside, bit of a bummer there. But when you're marinating it and then cooking it in the wine, that's not to be surprised. So yeah. But it turned out really good. Very tender, of course, because, if you're doing braising right, everything's going to turn out tender. Very, very good. Went really well with all of the dishes. So, even with the bit of the white wine taste, and it tasted really good. Went really decently. And it just had that mild enough flavor that it could match with the cucumber and avocado, or the tomatoes and beans. So really worked out well together. I definitely upped the flavor a bit in doing that. Definitely more salt and pepper in that dish for dang sure. But other than that, it was really good. And it also has me thinking, not just what wine do I pair with it, but I've done pork loin marinated in beer, which turned out great. I've now done a pork loin marinated in wine, which turned out pretty great. And now I'm wondering, we have some bottles of whiskey around, a pork loin marinated in whiskey and cooked in whiskey. Maybe would that actually be good? And also, like, what other alcohols would you want to cook a pork loin in? I know part of the marinade was also a bit of brandy, which honestly I probably could have done a bit more of to get that flavor in there. Which, maybe I don't know. I wouldn't do one in brandy. The closest thing I'd use is probably like a masala or port or something that's knock off fancy stuff, but it became. I'm sorry, just getting into the histories of those. Like some of those were discovered just by accident, basically, by the brewers in their native regions. So, and people like them, and they're good. And heck, if you're doing any cooking stuff, it doesn't matter the quality of the items. I mean, as long as you're not using jug or box wine, you can cook with pretty much any wine. Save the good stuff to serve with the meal. Use the cheap stuff to cook it. I mean, yeah, just one of the things I know my chef would talk about is like, yeah, you could just cook with the wine if you don't like it, and it becomes part of your ingredients and flavoring list. But if you do like it, set it aside. Find something good to pair with it. So, getting into the mentality of pairing your wines with meal, and heck, you can pair teas with meals because they come in all flavors these days too. So, That'd actually be a fun one to try and figure out what sort of teas to serve with a meal. Yeah. See, I can dish it out on my own cooking as well. So yeah. Overall, it's a really good meal, but I have these few nitpicks, and I'm going to have to make some notes in our cookbooks when in a bit, so that I can know how to fix them later. And you know, yeah, that's one of my big complaints about this cookbook. It doesn't have how to or the what type of dicing or just like small slices or whatever you're supposed to do the cuts in. So it's sort of annoys me when that happens, because that knowing that ahead of time helps you do your prep work. I mean, one of the big things I always enforce with this is before you even start thinking about cooking is get your mise en place ready. But of course, then you even take a very basics level cooking class, mise en place is drilled into you really well. That and how to make mirepoix, but both of those are the basis of pretty much everything. I mean, that and knife, those two and knife skills. So yeah, you really need to know all of that. Yeah, that's really all for now. Sort of wish I had more to say, but that's what I've been working on. Trying to come up with a new meal sometime soon, so I'll have more of myself to critique then, which will be fun because, well, I really like cooking, and even this was pretty hectic, but it was still fun to do. So until then, and if I have anything cool to say in the meantime, I know I owe an LPS review for the last two episodes, so have that in the future. Until then, keep having a good one, be great people, and see you in the next one.